Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Ben from shouldIGetIt.com. This is Max.
Hey.
We're testing a new setup today, and we are also going on a quick drive in Max's MazdaSpeed Miata. And if you follow my channel, you know I have a 91 NA, pretty stock. I had a 95, also stock. And here we are in a stock MB that has a turbo, and we wouldn't say it's fast, right?
It's quick.
But yeah, it's more quick than Miata quick, and it's pretty fun. It's also a 6-speed, which is kind of interesting. So first question I want to ask you that we have is, what is your favorite and least favorite thing about the MazdaSpeed Miata as opposed to a regular naturally aspirated Miata? Or if you really want to, you can compare it to your track Miata.
Oh, well, I mean, the extra power is definitely nice. Between this and a regular Miata on the street is that it doesn't feel underpowered. You're getting onto the freeway, anything like that, it's really easy to keep up. Where regular NA and NB, you really want to ring them out a lot.
Yeah.
But conversely, you know, you take something like this out and you go beat up on all your friends and their Miatas, and they all say, "You got a turbo!" So, you know, it creates excuses for the whiners.
Yeah. And, you know, you're saying you got to ring out naturally aspirated Miatas. Of course you do to hit that power. But I drove this car for a little bit, and I also felt that the turbo doesn't really kick in down low as one might imagine on this car. Even though the turbo is small, you still got to ring it out to round
Oh, well,
4.
definitely to get into the boost. So
There it is.
you got to ring it out a little bit. But the difference is that you have to ring out a Miata to accelerate to freeway speed, a regular NA or an NB.
Right.
This you can kind of just drive. And because the power is not all kinds of everywhere, it really just drives like a normal Miata, except when you want more.
Yeah, it's great because it's like a regular Miata, and then when you want the power, it's there. When you want to just cruise around town, it's still there. And I'm sure the gas mileage is still totally fine.
As long as you're off boost.
Right. I mean, you're going to be in the mid-20s easily, I assume. Okay, least favorite part of this car?
Just in general, just how tiny they are.
Yeah.
As a 6 foot, 250-pound man, it's a squeeze. It's really funny to watch me try to get in and out of my NA race car.
How many miles does this car have on it? Because had Max not told me the mileage, which you'll find out in a second, I would think this car is, you know, right where mine's at. I'm at 143,000 miles. This one feels significantly better, actually. Not that just it has more power. The steering feels even tighter, and the car looks great. How many miles are on this car?
I mean, I'm surprised you think that. I would guess this car at under 100,000. But
I would believe that.
it's actually at 200,000 miles, but it's had a lot of maintenance and refreshing, fresh bushings, suspension, coolant system, clutch, timing kit, everything has been refreshed. New tires, top.
Yeah.
So it feels like younger than it is.
Right.
And the chassis is still really, really fresh. This one hasn't been abused. The frame rails are straight. All the little things that higher mile or older Miatas typically have as problems, this one didn't. So it was definitely worth resurrecting.
Yeah. All right. Next question that I have is, what's the exhaust sound like? But you guys are hearing that right now. We have a microphone set up. So if we could just do a little higher RPMs. There we go. That's what the exhaust sounds like for you guys. Is there a lot of turbo lag was a question asked, and that's kind of what we just talked about a moment ago. Is
So about turbo lag, if you're at 2,000 or 3,000 RPMs and you slam on the gas wide open throttle and you want the power now, that's not going to happen. If you're at 4,000 RPMs and you slam on the throttle, the power will be there now. So while it is a small turbo, it's also a small motor, and you need enough air to have that motor spooling, or have that turbo spooling.
Right.
So either you need a little time at 2,000 or instantly at 4.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it feels like. The car feels very peppy. Yeah, 4 to 7,000 RPM feels fantastic, or closer to 6,500 is awesome. Now, since you have a lot of experience on the racetrack with various race cars and Miatas, if someone had a budget of, let's say, $10,000, would you recommend to them going for a MazdaSpeed and having basically money for a couple of track days, or going for an NA or NB that's not turboed and putting that money into modifications like suspension, tires, brake kits, redoing hoses, things of that nature?
Well, I think it's important to identify your goals when you're going to go to the track. And if what you want is a car that's going to go out and be competitively fast at like HPDE events and go out and have fun in, this is a really, really good car. It'll be faster than everybody else's Miatas around the track. It'll be fun to drive home and drive around town. It'll be fun in the canyons. But there's something to be said for if you're going to be racing series and competitively, picking your car specifically for the series. And there are a lot of series that are NA and NB specific that aren't hosting the MazdaSpeed.
Right.
But again, you might buy an NA and feel like, since it's slower than your Toyota Camry or Honda Accord that you're daily driving, that it might be a little disappointing for HPDE. Where this is really more an analogous comparison to something like an S2000. Well, do I want an S2000 or do I want a turbo Miata?
Yeah, those are definitely a lot more in the same playing field. And
I wouldn't put an NA or a basic NA or NB on the same playing field as S2000.
Right. But MazdaSpeed is a lot closer to S2000.
Much closer.
Yeah. And that brings us to the final question, which is, does it make sense? Let's say you have various vehicles, as one does, to have a different feel. For instance, I have a GTI with a DSG. That's a 2012, and then I have a 91 Miata, which is super fun and raw manual. Does it make sense for someone to own a Miata, an NA Miata, and a MazdaSpeed? And would you have to kind of not sacrifice, but feel a difference? Where you get out and you're like, I'm going to go on a drive today, and you have to pick between the cars. Or if you have a MazdaSpeed, does it make just no sense at all to keep your other Miata?
Well,
that's NB or NA.
I've actually got, this is a NB MazdaSpeed, and then I have an NA track car. The base level Miatas, between being a little bit small for me and not feeling fast in the 2020s with cars coming out of the factory like Tesla S's and Hellcats.
Right.
Not that I'm expecting to keep up, but
it's just the new relative norm.
Yeah.
You hear 300 horsepower, and you're like, that's not that high anymore.
Everything is so fast, just going up on ramps. You just want to be able to keep up, just out driving.
Yeah, definitely.
At the track, there's a lot to be said for, like I said, having a car that's specific for whatever events you're going to be running and stuff like that. The reason that I have a MazdaSpeed is because it's great on the street and great in the canyons and a lot of fun no matter what. The reason that I have the NA is that it's as little car as I could get, with it still being an amazing race car.
Yeah.
And when you go out in a 1.6 Miata and stomp on people, nobody asks you how much boost you're running or how much horsepower you have.
It's all driver behind.
And you hand them your card and you say, I'd be happy to instruct you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. So last question, which a lot of people who watch the videos always ask, what's maintenance like on the cars, right? And those that have Miatas know the Miata maintenance the car doesn't take a ton. With any car that ages, there are things to fix. Thankfully, Miata's parts are cheap and not too hard to replace. How different would you say the maintenance would be owning a MazdaSpeed versus, is that a dog or a coyote? It's a dog. I'll cut that. How different would you say the maintenance would look like owning a MazdaSpeed and driving, maybe 1,500 miles a month, just kind of like a weekend car and a commuter a couple days a week? What does the MazdaSpeed maintenance look like versus the naturally aspirated Miatas of similar age?
For regular use, it's the same. As long as you're not beating the hell out of it, it's exactly the same. Yeah. If you're taking it to the track, any turbo car should have its oil changed more frequently than a non-turbo car.
Yep.
But for regular daily use, taking it up into the canyons and whatnot, it's exactly the same as a Miata. It's super cheap to own, super cheap to operate, super cheap gas mileage. The point of this car isn't that it can't be beat. Of course it can be beat. You can go out and buy a C5 Corvette for under $15,000 these days. But the thing is if you go to the track for a weekend, it's going to cost you $1,000 in expendables between fuel, brakes, tires, because all that stuff's going to be done in one weekend if you're any sort of a fast driver. And this is not the case in this. You can go out and set crazy fast laps in this and drive it home.
Right, and you're totally fine. Then you put the top down, you have fun with it.
Go back to work on Monday. I mean, it's the car that will literally take crazy abuse. If the worst thing is that you abuse a MazdaSpeed, you change your oil every 2,000 miles instead of every 3,500. Oh no!
Right. Yeah. Fantastic car, very fun to drive, very interesting with the 6-speed. If you've never driven a Miata with a 6-speed, it just throws everything off because the gearing's so short. But it's awesome in this car because it keeps you in boost when you want to be pushing on it or when you're on the track. Overall, really interesting experience coming from a Miata owner. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Anything else you want to add that we didn't cover?
No, I hope you guys enjoyed the car.
Cool. And by the way, this car is for sale as of today. It's January 11th, 2020. Wow, that's weird to say. It's January 11th, 2020, and the car's for sale. If you want more info, leave a comment down below or message me on Instagram at @carphotographer. I'll put you in touch with Max. Otherwise, I'll put it in the description once the car gets sold, so you might be watching this, in 2025, hopefully. It's still getting views, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up. See you in the next one. Peace.